Hello everyone, my name is Orn. I am 18 years old and I have been working on my game Far From Human for over 2 years now. Also, before I start, I just want to say I apologize for the mic quality. I don't really have a good mic, so this is the best I can do. I really tried. I'm sorry. When I first started, I knew what I wanted, which was to make a Call of Duty Zombies clone, more or less. And this meant that I needed to make a zombie spawn system. So after copying a Code Monkey video bar for bar to get the player movement working, which I haven't needed to touch since I made it 2 years ago by the way, I began working on the system. This took a long time. For the first 4 months or so, I hadn't a clue how I was going to implement it. I first had a system that spawned zombies at random points on the map, and that worked just fine when the map only had one room, but I wanted a large map with doors that you needed to pay for, different areas. So I had to come up with my own solution. Mainly because Unity discussions and Stack Overflow didn't have any solutions for me at the time. And my solution was not pretty. Seeing as the map had a lot of different areas, I decided that if I could tell which area the player was in, I would be able to make it so that only the spawn locations that are in that area would be active, thus making it so zombies only spawn nearby and they're unable to spawn in areas that you haven't unlocked yet. This was done by putting a big trigger in each of the areas that covered the floor, and it was connected to a boolean value which let the game know if the player was in the room or not. I then created a list of spawn location objects used for each room. If the player was in the room, then it would spawn the enemies in that room at a random location. This was a simple version of the system which I didn't really change, I just added upon it, and I changed it to support different zombie types, AI scripts, different chances for each zombie type to spawn. I also hard-coded a boss zombie that spawns every 5 rounds called Big John. He's basically just a big default zombie at the moment, but he will be cool. I then designed my first map, with my idea being that if it had 4 different sides, it would make the multiplayer super replayable. But that would mean that I would have to have multiplayer. I definitely want my game to have multiplayer, but right now that's just not going to happen. I've never worked with multiplayer, and I want to get a proper demo out before I begin to start working on it, but it will happen. This map didn't stick. I didn't even finish the art for it before I decided to redesign, and this redesign was better, definitely better, but it wasn't perfect. I made it with a complete tile set. This resulted in zombies appearing through walls and guns being hidden and a whole head wreck. So after a while, I just decided to redesign again. And that was the redesign that I ended up sticking with. During this redesign, I made a lot. I made a point system and a weapon system, which included weapons you could purchase off the wall. Aiming and shooting were done by getting the cursor position and setting the gun's rotation to face the cursor. It then instantiates a bullet at the tip of the gun's fire point and adds a force in the direction of the cursor. Right now, the bullets all look the same, but I'm able to change the sprite and damage of each of the different bullets. My weapon script is a mess, but it's highly scalable and customizable, allowing for burst shooting, shotguns, or just plain old guns. Yes, I know I need to animate all of it, and I will. I also added a health system with UI to boot. Next, I designed a train system based off of the round count. This will take you to different areas on the map depending on which round it is, rotating between the hotel's reception and the food hall. This is done by straight up teleporting the player between the locations, but I will add animations eventually. For now, it's just a little jarring. The most recent thing I've done is create a menu, which has customizable difficulty. Getting the sliders to change the text was weird, but the button system in Unity is really intuitive and I got the hang of it. But there isn't much here, and I'm not sure what else to add in terms of customization, so if you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. The thing about me is, I am frugal, and I plain refuse to get help at all. Everything I've done so far has been alone, which is really not a good thing. It's been a steep learning curve to go from programming to art to level design to sound design. There is no sound yet. Yeah. And there's still so much more to do. For one, the menu's chopped. Obviously, I need to implement a sound system. I'm working on that. I'm currently working on music for the game. I need to fix a lot of the sprites, fill out the map, and so much more. Like, look at my idea wall. I look like a crazy person. Will I bring all the ideas to life? For sure. It's just a matter of when. I want to lean into enemy behavior as I go, rather than just having the zombies beeline straight for you. I want them to be a little bit smarter, emphasis on a little bit, because mind you, I'm no genius, so some of that may be out of my expertise. But look, I've got a jumpy guy. He may be ugly, and I may have to work some kinks out, but he's certainly something. And now that I have all the basic systems in place that I plan to implement, I can really hone in on making the game look not crap. And if you want to follow me on my progress, I've made a Discord server where I'll be sharing all of it as it's done. I've been working a lot on this game over my summer holiday, but here in Ireland, college is starting up, so I'll have to slow down somewhat for a while. This is what I dream to do as a career, so I'm as motivated as ever. I also want to start pumping out these devlogs. Just know that I'm very new to making videos, so the rate will be slow, but be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and leave a like so I have a chance to be picked up by the algorithm. Also leave any feedback you have in the comments. Be as brutal as you need. I promise it helps. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.